Good morning, amazing humans. It is me, Elsie, and I am here for Winning Wednesday. I can not tell you how grateful I am to be able to do this, to share my experiences, to share my hope, to just share love with a community in the world that is so drastically needed here. And if you're watching this part of this video, more than likely you are watching the replay of it. And I want to thank you, especially for being a part of, well, for letting me be a part of your journey, for letting Recovery Soul Food be a part of your journey. And I just want you to know that no matter how you feel today, where you are in the recovery process, or what it is that you are recovering from, just know that you are recovering to the amazing you that has always been present in your life, in your existence. And maybe it's been some old limiting perceptions and beliefs about yourself that you picked up very early in your life that has brought you to the place that you aren't sure that you can make it through this process, or if it's even worth it to be in this process. And I just want to tell you, in those moments where you are questioning everything, when you are asking yourself why and if you're even worth it, dig in deeper, because it's in those moments that the greatest changes are taking place within you. It's in those moments that you are shattering old belief systems, that you are exposing limited self-beliefs and perceptions that have come from others and your experience thus far. And I want you to know that you are worth this recovery process, and the life that you have dreamt of in your past that you now somehow believe that is not available to you. Well, I want you to expose that lie as well. You are a co-creator in this life journey, which means that you are creating right alongside the divine, the higher power of your naming, and that you can create the life that you deserve and that you've dreamed of. So don't put those things aside and don't give up today. You are just truly, truly stronger than you may believe in this very moment. So it's Winning Wednesday, everybody. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm grateful that you are here. And let's get started with this thing. We're going to go ahead and let our room build up. If you're here and you feel led, then please share this video out. If you are on the YouTube channel, then like and subscribe. Please turn on the bell notification for this channel. We are growing, and I want to thank all of you for this, because it is through all of you that I get to live my dreams. And I want to tell you, I speak to you from this place because I was that person. I was that person that believed that, it was as good as it gets for me, and that being fully addicted was the best I could do, and that my life had been so messed up from experiencing childhood abuse and different things that I'd been through in my life. I just believed that I was better off dead, and it hurts me to say that in this time in my life, but I know that's where I came from. And if I can come from there and be where I am today and know where I'm going, then I promise you, anyone within the sound of my voice and beyond can do it as well. You are radically strong. You've already exhibited it in your life thus far. It is not an easy job to be actively addicted in the streets, getting your needs met in whatever way, shape, or form. It is not easy to do that. People actually call it the easy way out. So much, I've heard that so many times, and it's not easy to be out there day in and day out fighting for your life, fighting for your existence, and knowing that what you needed, you went and got, even though your life was many times on the line. It's just about opening up those old wounds, clearing them out, getting to the roots of those belief systems that tell you you can do that, but you can't do this positive path. Let's expose those together. Let's eradicate those together. And let's build your absolute greatness that is just already present within you, just wearing a different outfit. So today we are again going to talk about miracles and how to use the triggers and the cravings in your life as guidance systems. We're going to talk about how to use the emotions that seem negative and seem bad to actually know that they are your friend and that they are guiding you to that promised land of your freedom, of your happiness, and all that that entails. So if you guys are ready, then you already know I'm ready. Let's get to this. Oh my gosh, look at all these beautiful faces showing up. I haven't seen Tara in a while. Good morning, Tara. Mary Huffman, thank you so much for being there on YouTube. Jen Brownlee, good morning. Bonnie, Von, Max, I love you. Thank you for being on YouTube, Bonnie. Stacy K, Joe Potosi over there on YouTube. Man, I love that guy. Y'all, this man already made it through all he's made it through, and he made it through COVID. His wife, I mean, you talk about a heavyweight champion. That's Joe Potosi, and all of you as well. I mean, look at the things you guys have gone through and come through. Joni Faulkner, good morning to you as well. Man, I love Mary Huffman. Mary Huffman is watching on all streams. I love that. You guys are so, I love you. Dustin, good to see you, man. Larry Brown, my favorite people in the house. Amy Baker, Alicia Lee. My gosh, man. Who's more blessed than me? Nobody. Nobody's more blessed than I am. And I am so grateful that today I can see that I'm no longer looking around at my life to inventory every way that it's going wrong, everything that's bad. And that's just a habit that we really get into. We really fall into these habits of thoughts. We fall into these ruts, if you will, of being, and we get so bogged down by the everyday life in this rut that we sometimes feel like we can't get out of it. Or we start looking at all of the obstacles that are standing in our way, and then we decide that the obstacles are too big and that we are then not good enough or strong enough to overcome them. And we fail to look at all of the things that we have already come through, because we put our addictions in these boxes and we put them over on a shelf and we try to forget everything about them. But that doesn't serve us. It serves us more especially until we build up current momentum of of winning, of moving through obstacles. Before we build that momentum, we need to look back and see all of the obstacles we've already overcome. It's just the subject matter that's really different. The actions are the same. So you guys know, excuse me, this morning, you guys know that I'm studying A Course in Miracles, and it is just, man, when you're ready, when you're at that place of awakening that you feel called to this form of study, it is pretty deep. It is radically going. it radically is different than the things in the box that we've been taught about love and about everything. And what it does is it really brings us back to who we are in our core, and that is love. Each one of us are a divine expression of, our highest power in this human form. And it is up to us to represent that every day, not feeling guilty when we maybe feel like we've fallen short, because the honesty is that there is no falling short. We're here to have a human experience, and that's what comes along with it. So, when you get to a place that you feel led to look into this, I urge you to do so. So this is in chapter 1, the meaning of miracles, and it is verses 42 and 43. A major contribution of miracles is their strength in releasing you from your false sense of isolation, deprivation, and lack. Miracles arise from a miraculous state of mind, or a state of miracle readiness. You know, gratitude was the emotion and action that really began to open my world up early in recovery. I mean, week 1 in treatment, I got into this, gratitude thing. And of course, like a lot of folks, I didn't believe in it at first because I didn't know how to feel grateful. I thought there had to be some big thing that happened in order for me to feel grateful. But at that time, the way my mind and thought processes were, I would have still found a way to dismiss something good happening to me, because we move through life from our experiences of the past. We look at the experiences that hurt us, that harmed us, and we somehow bring those to the forefront of our perception and of our life. And we build our belief systems and our gates around so that we don't experience those things again. But what if experiencing those things were the greatest gifts of our life? What if we could turn our perception around and see that what we have believed have been the worst things that have ever happened to us actually are the greatest gifts we've ever received? Now, I know that it's hard to wrap a mind around that, especially if you are early in this, changing of mind and changing of thought processes. And some of you are, and some of you aren't. You've been with me for a little while, and you've made great strides, great strides. So, we have to come to a place, and I know it's hard to believe, but we have to know that well-being is our natural state. We came into this world knowing full well, have a great day, Larry Brown, go do it, be careful, stay safe. We came into the world with no harmful beliefs. We came into the world with no feelings of unworthiness. We came into the world as well-being. And it began there. And it is hard to believe, after all we lived through, that well-being is our natural state of where we are truly supposed to live. And our thoughts and our emotions, our circumstances, our cravings, and our triggers help bring us back into alignment with that truth. You see, we look at our negative emotions as being bad because we believe that they feel bad. But in actuality, it helps us understand and know when we are out of alignment, so to speak, with our truth. And so we can use those things to help guide us. And again, it goes back to perception. We have this programmed perception of what good is. We have this programmed perception of what bad is. and we just follow suit. And it's the conscious recovery lifestyle is questioning those things that we have been taught or we've learned, or the things that we currently believe when we know that they feel off inside of us. I'm a firm believer, and this is only through my own personal growth and searching, is that addictions come in when we are out of alignment with our own self, when we're out of alignment with our own truth. And so we use to experience happiness, we use to experience an escape, because when you live in that survival mindset, that survival mode all the time, when it becomes your state in life, and that's where you're coming from every day, always, you need a break from it. And if you don't know how to naturally take yourself out of that, or in a healthy way take yourself out of that, then we reach for some assistance. I mean, everything we see in every single day tells all of us to reach outside of yourself for comfort. Reach outside of yourself for healing. Reach outside of yourself for love. And I believe that the recovery process is a journey back within, because we all know that you can go to a million rehab centers, you can go to a million outpatient programs, you can even go to a million meetings and programs, and it's until you get to that place inside of you where you say, I'm done. I gotta change. This is it for me. Like, I've got to do this. I am truly ready. It's not that you haven't gained knowledge or you haven't gained from all of these things you've gone through in the past, but it's when you get to that place within you that says, I can't do this anymore, is when you start to bring in tools from all of those places. When you say, I can't move forward feeling this way inside anymore. We are emotional creatures. That's what sets us apart from the animals, from the plants. I mean, we're all divine creation. But what sets us apart is that we have the ability to experience emotions. And a lot of us will agree that emotions can be our biggest triggers. Biggest. Because we go either way up, we want to celebrate, or we go way down and we want to escape. And I am firm into the belief that if we go back and trace these things to the belief system that is actually orchestrating all of this, then we can cure that, instead of being like a medication you see on TV, or a pain reliever. It only treats the symptom for a very short time. But if you want to not experience those things, then you got to go to the source. You got to go to the place where you find a cure for what it is. And I believe the cure for all of our addictions and back and forthness is to trace it back to the belief systems that are in place in your life that have you believing that this is what you deserve, or that this is the way out. We're playing with our lives every day that we stay in active addiction. We're playing with our lives every time we fall to that place of relapse. And, we've got to get to a place where we wake up every morning and start getting grateful for our lives, because not everybody gets to do that today. And it's okay to remind yourself of that every morning. Every morning that you walk by the mirror, get up and remind yourself that you've got a chance today, that somebody that you love, or, that you don't even know in the world, is not getting today. And we got to put things in our thought processes that begin to motivate and encourage us. We've got to stop waiting for outside entities to come in and keep us pumped up and keep us motivated to go after what really only we can experience, which is our freedom, our healing. I mean, you can have outside things that motivate you. That's great. But eventually they wear off. And what are you going to be left with? We've got to find these ways to flip our thought processes and perceptions around to be able to open up a world to us that is absolutely already going on inside of us. It's like a parallel universe, if you will. Well, it makes me think of the law of polarity, which the meaning is that everything has an equal and opposite, right? So for every negative emotion or thought process that we're living in, there is an equally positive and miraculous process going right alongside with it. And the gift that we have, this thing called free will, is that the choice is ours of where we're going to, what groove we're going to get into with it. And so it's beautiful for you to begin to become aware in the times that you are having those negative emotions, and ask yourself in that moment, if I'm feeling this, or if I'm thinking about this, what is its opposite? So if I'm experiencing what I believe is a letdown, okay, a hard circumstance, what is the opposite to this thought? Because I have the choice to believe that it's either a terrible ending and it's unfair and blame and why can't I ever get a break? Or I get to believe the opposite, which is all endings make room for new beginnings. This new beginning is, though I can't see its end result in this moment, I know that it's working together for my good. So what feels better? What feels more in alignment? If we are, if feeling is the key to attraction, then what feels more like what you are wanting to attract into your life? What feels more like recovery between those two statements? It's like the what if up statements. If you've never heard of that, the what if up statements are the opposite to our fear statements. Like, well, what if this doesn't work out? Or what if I can't do this? So a what if up statement would be, what if this does work out? And I actually be for this. And I don't have to wake up every day, looking for some way to escape. I don't have to get up every day and deal with who do I have to lie to, manipulate, or take from today. What if I do this? And it's little things like this that we use in our everyday recovery life that begins to change us from the inside out. And we cannot think or fathom that we are going to jump into recovery with the same mindset and things are going to just jump on positive, because it was not the addiction itself that was the biggest problem. It was not the defining thing. And because our human minds like to put things in categories and reason things out and find a way to blame and say, oh, okay, so this is your fault. We are in active addiction and we have this thing that we think, well, if I'm not using, I could get a job and I could have my family back and I could have my house back and I could have my family back together. And then we put it all down. And guess what? None of that stuff changes. So then we decide it's not worth it. I mean, it makes no real sense for us to believe that it's going to turn around on a dime without any true effort from us. And we've all done that before. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I talk about this because I found myself in this trap of, getting being clean for a week, and just and life keeps going on in the same way that I'm vibrating, and I just throw in the towel because we think it's too hard. And it is hard, and it's going to take some work, but anything worth keeping, what will you give everything you've got for? Something you've worked very hard to achieve. The same triggers that used to bury me in the past don't affect me like that anymore. I can't imagine, especially all the things that I've been through in this working on 8 years of recovery. I can't imagine anything can come in and take my sobriety from me. And anyway, I already know through what I've learned is that nothing can take anything from me. I would have to be willing to give it up. Y'all, I've worked way too hard to come to a place of, enlightenment, to places of healing, to places of knowing my truth and stepping into my purposes and truth and integrity. And I've built this amazing structure of recovery in my life. I would not just give that up for a hard day. And so it's got to be hard, but we can turn the perception of hard around and let ourselves know that hard equals great. Hard equals, stability. Hard equals meaningful. And I guess what this entire Winning Wednesday is about to me, and what I'd like to give to you, is the gift of perception is what is running and ruling your life right now. It is your perceptions about the things, the people, the happenings, and yourself that is moving your life in whatever way that it's going. And here's the greatest news of all. You can change that. And it's just by doing some simple little things that are not outside of you, that you don't have to go anywhere or buy anything to do, that you do within yourself. And that is becoming aware of those moments that you are in that rut of feeling those old, emotions, and taking that moment to recognize them, and remembering the law of polarity. What is the opposite? What is the opposite perception that I can see this with right now? And from there, begin to retrain your brain to start to see the light in every situation, the miracle in every occurrence, the miracle that is you, and move your life into that place that you have dreamt it could be. I know that it's harder for us to live in our imaginations now that we're grown and we've experienced life. You remember when you were a kid and how it was so easy for you to have these grandiose dreams and these things that to the adults in your life made no sense. And you could see that many times we'd get shut down. Well, what do you want to be? Oh, I want to be an astronaut. And then an adult would come and say, that's not feasible. That's not likely. Pick something that's real. That wasn't because they were mean or just wanted to shut us down. They thought they might have been protecting us. I know that it's hard for us to do that, but it's time for us to be more childlike. And the gift of us being in recovery is we get to do that. We get to see the world in its wholeness, through a different set of eyes. Every one of us have been to the brink of not being here anymore. And our gift is our life. Now, what kind of life do you want to live? You want to live the same old miserable life without your addiction, your coping skill? Or do you want to see all that you really are? Experience all the amazingness that is you and take this life to levels that you never thought possible. It all begins and ends with perception. So, how will you see your life today? I love you all so, so much and keep you all close in my prayers, in my energy. I want to send just healing out to all of you. I know that we're still in a tough time. You know, COVID 2020 has been one wild year, right? And for some of us, it's just been put on the wagon of a few or many wild years. But you know, we are coming to the end of this. Oh, what's up, Maddie J? We're coming to the end of this. And, you know, for anyone out there that's feeling isolated, that's feeling alone, that really is feeling hopeless, I just want to tell you every season ends. After every storm comes a rainbow. And I realize that it's hard to see right now. Your mind wants you to see the details. Your mind wants you, it says, we can't come out of this well. I mean, look at everything that's happened. Crash that old chatterbox of your old perception and realize that for everything that seems negative, there is its opposite, positive. And we're not to pretend that what is happening now isn't happening, but we got to get excited about the miracle that it is actually building us up for. The world, the energy of all humanity is shifting. We are moving into a different time. And every time we move and shift, we've got to unlearn. That's what recovery is about, man. Recovery is really about unlearning the damaging things that we have believed and the thought processes to be born into this new way of seeing our world and ourself and everything. And so don't resist, because what we resist is going to persist, because it's going to keep coming. There is a lesson in it for you, for all of us. There is something important that is trying to get through to you. And the more we resist it, the harder it's got to come at us. And so let's let that old stuff that is no longer serving us, the belief systems, the actions, the thought processes, the people, friendships, relationships, whatever it is, let's let them fall away. Don't feel like a spirit of lack that you're never going to have anything else if you let these things fall away. Come to know that for everything that falls away, it's just making room for something miraculous to take its place. And a little while down the road, you'll have to shed off those miraculous things to get new things. You know, for every new level that you go through, the entryway gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's time to drop that old baggage that keeps you comfortable in misery in order for you to open up to see what's ahead of you. Don't be afraid. I know it's a scary time. Don't be afraid. Remember, if we are in fear and anxiety, it means that we're living too far in the future. When we are in depression and guilt and shame, it means that we're living too far in the past. Bring yourself to this moment. Just sit down and ask yourself, am I okay in this moment? What's my biggest issue in this moment? Not 5 minutes from now, not 5 days from now, not 5 minutes ago, now. Because we're not guaranteed the next moment. So we've got to learn to be present and enjoy the moments we have, because that's where regret comes from, guys. Regret comes from not enjoying the moment when it was happening. So we get somewhere else and we regret that we didn't spend time in that moment. I don't know. things change, man. And I've had to learn to get excited as well. I mean, this year alone, just since August, we've lost our house. We have lost all things that we thought were stability in our lives. And it's scary. Yeah, it is. And do you need to grieve those things? Absolutely. Go through your grieving process, but stay excited because there's no way it's not going to be amazing from here on out. So I love you guys, man, and I miss you so much. I am getting to a place that maybe I can start coming on more. My vision is being reborn. New projects are coming in the works. Now, I want you guys to get really excited about this. I am teaming up with my good friend and mentor, Amy Guerrero of Thrive in Recovery with Amy, and we are putting together a sober relationship series. It's going to be through the podcast, but of course, we'll have it here as well. And we're trying to get that done, at least the first part of it, before Christmas, because we all know that, being around family in recovery can be rough. And when we're trying to work so hard to heal ourselves, sometimes, we put extra pressure on ourselves with other people. So we're really, really working on that. She is a leading expert in sober relationships and what we deserve and how to have a healthy, sober relationship. So I'm super excited about that. That's coming up. We're really trying to work on it and get it to you before Christmas. I want to go ahead and put it out there by faith that at least the first part is going to be done before Christmas. So I will be in touch. I will let you all know. Until then, you guys know that I absolutely adore you. I do love you so much. And I wish you all the most amazing, absolutely perfect day on earth, and know that you can choose it to be so. You are that powerful. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.